President Trump. We're about to dig deep into President Trump right now. I love it. This is just classic Trump. Anybody running for the office of President of the United States should agree to take a full and complete mental competency test simultaneously or before with the announcement that he or she is running, and likewise, but to a somewhat lesser extent, agree to a test which would prove that you are physically capable of doing the job. Being an outstanding president requires great mental acuity and physical stamina. If you don't have these qualities or traits, it is likely you won't succeed. MAGA! I love President Trump. He's absolutely right, by the way. He is absolutely right. You need to have those skills. You need to have those things about you that are strong and good and all those things, right? And he was displaying all of them last night. He was on fire. He was on fire last night. And it started with an interview yesterday. And that in that interview, they asked him about the attacks. And I loved his answer. Check this out.
No president has done more to try to highlight the weaponization of the federal government and what bureaucracies are doing than you. Two recent examples of FBI putting out a memo saying that Catholics who go to Latin Mass are supremacists or extremist threats. And then today, a story we broke, a Democratic research firm improperly got the personnel files of a dozen of our great military members. Your thoughts on those two instances?
Oh, it's totally been weaponized with these prosecutors. They've been going after me for years. Prosecutors that are Democrats, radical left. And by the way, the higher my poll numbers go, the harder they come at me. And you see it right now. They have a total Trump hater looking at the document hoax. It's a hoax. Obama took documents all over the place. And you know, if you take a look at Obama and Biden, and you take a look at all of them, including Jimmy Carter, and we wish him well, but everybody took documents. It's a hoax, and nobody has a problem, but they come after me. And the reason they come after me, because I'm leading everybody by so much, and what they've done is weaponize the justice system, and it's a disgrace. Never has our country had anything like what's going on right now. They put all Trump haters in, and if you hate Trump, you have a chance of getting that prosecution. You know, no, it's a disgrace what's going on, but I've been fighting it for years, and I'll continue to fight it, and we've been doing very well.
There you go. He knows. He knows, and that actually ties in with this next question that was asked last night in West Palm Beach. Because this is all by design. Here you go.
Hello, Mr. President. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
We all love you.
Thank you.
We have a problem with all the three-letter agencies in Washington, the CIA, the FBI.
So do I.
What is your plan to, I hate to put it this way, but burn them down and start all over again?
Yeah. They've gotten out of control. They have. Weaponization in some forms and other things. They have really gotten out of control. And the only thing that can change that are the people. And we did a lot of work, and we were really getting down to a point that, you know, nobody could believe how well we were doing in that regard. But we're going to have to do something about it. We're going to make changes and big changes, and that change has to start from the top. Some agencies are just stone cold. Now, they've gotten a lot of courage because they've been encouraged by the radical left Democrats. I mean, many of these people are, I don't even know if it's Biden, to be honest with you, but many of these people are just stone cold left, crazy Marxist, communist people. And it's sort of like the border. Who wants to have an open border? Then you say, who wants to have a CIA like this? And who wants, and I have to say, when I was working with the CIA, we took out more terrorists than any other president. We were knocking them out left and right. And I really had a very good relationship with the CIA. They did a good job, but they certainly seem to be out of control right now. And the other ones too. And we'll make the changes that have to be made. You know, it was very interesting. When I first became president, I didn't really know anybody in Washington. And I was a New York person. I rarely went to Washington. I think they said that I went to Washington 17 times during the course of my life, and I never stayed over. So, you know, I wasn't a Washington establishment person. And I had to rely on some people to give me advice as to who put in. Now, I have to say, You don't read about him, you don't hear about him. So many different people. Bob Lighthizer in trade. We had so many great people, but we also had some people that weren't the greatest that I wouldn't have put in, that are rhinos or, bad rhinos as opposed to good rhinos. Some Republican in name onlys are pretty good people. They're not my kind of people generally. But we had some great people, but we also had people that I would have never chosen. Now that I've done this and done it intensely, I would say probably more intense than anybody's ever been president, right? And by the way, every time our poll numbers go up, and they're going up like a rocket ship, every time, and again, because they're doing so poorly on the other side, and they saw what we did, but every time our poll numbers go up, those agencies that we talk about get meaner, crazier, and they want to use that to try and win political battles, and you just can't do it. But I will say that I know the people of Washington right now better than almost anybody, and I know the great ones who will do the job, who won't be a coward as Attorney General, because we had a couple of Attorney Generals that didn't have courage, let's say. I mean, Bill Barr was going to be impeached. They said they're going to impeach him. I said, impeach him for what? I said, I got impeached twice and my numbers went up, so maybe it's a good... But he said, I don't want to be impeached. I don't want to be impeached. And they lose their character, they lose their strength. We can't have that. We need brave patriots. And I know the people. I now know that establishment. Because nobody has lived in Washington like I've lived in Washington.
Do you guys like that? That was my favorite answer of the entire thing. Y'all wanted to hear President Trump. You wanted to hear him be reflective. You wanted to hear him be honest. He was honest. Why do you think that we are going after traitor fucking slimy people early in the campaign? We're never making the mistakes that were made. And he understands. He hadn't been there. He didn't know the landscape that well. There's a lot of staffing that goes into becoming the president of the United States. President Trump, that was one of the best answers he's given that I think puts a lot of people at ease. You go, oh, shit. I think you've been led to believe that Donald Trump thinks he never makes any errors or mistakes. And that's because that's what they show you. They never, ever show you him being reflective and honest. They always want to try and make it look like he's like, oh, it's all about Trump. Like a lot of these people, a lot of these people I've dealt with in the last couple of weeks. It's all about his ego. That was no ego. That was a guy going, look, dude, I'd never spent a lot of time there. Things have changed now. I know everybody I can trust. I know everybody I can rely on. I know what kind of patriots we need. It's all about courage. See, it's the thing that Donald Trump has always run his organization this way. And then when he got to D.C., I think he had some people that told him he needed to do things differently. And it took a little while before he realized, no, I was right, they were wrong. Donald Trump has always valued loyalty over expertise. Did you guys know that? Now, ideally, he has somebody that does both, where you're an expert in a field and you are fiercely loyal and courageous. But when push comes to shove, if Donald Trump has to choose between somebody who's fiercely loyal and courageous and can be trained versus somebody who's a disloyal dog with an expertise, he's going to go with the other person. Because if you have the right intent and the right integrity and the courage to pursue, you can learn anything. And he knew that. That's how Donald Trump's run his organizations for decades. And then it came to D.C. and he allowed experts in those fields, and he surrounded himself because he thought, well, they'll turn they're going to do what's right for the country. And he figured out very quickly they're not going to. And he started firing people. Trump 2024 ain't going to be like Trump 2016. He knows. And he's recognizing it, and he understands. And I thought that was a really great answer. I thought it was a really, really great answer.